folks, it is crunch time for SoFi stock as earnings are not this Monday, which is tomorrow, but next Monday, which we have to talk about in this video. We're going to break down the estimates for EPS, revenue, go over what I'm personally looking for, and of course, as we always do, we're going to break down the charts here, talk about what happened Friday in the second half of the day, and we'll break down what could be happening here moving forward, some key levels on the charts. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and of course don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, guys, each up to $2,000. That's linked down below, and you might as well follow me on X at Stocks Talk Stocks. Guess what, that's also linked down below. And with that being said, geez, let me clear my throat, guys. Cheers. Let's dive into the video. By the way, this coffee is freaking amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I've been doing straight up just black espresso, right, with just a dash of maple syrup, just a little bit of maple syrup. It's just been unbelievable. Does anybody else do that or has tried that in the past? I don't do milk or anything like that, creamer or any crazy sweeteners or whatever, but a little dash of maple syrup. Get it at Costco. Just pure maple syrup. It's unbelievable in the coffee, guys. But anyway, without further ado here, guys, before we get carried away with this coffee, might as well take a sip while I'm at it. Let's get into the video. So, SoFi ended up having a green day on Friday, which I believe when I made my video on Friday, SoFi was right here. Do you guys remember that? Let me actually draw it out here. Do you guys remember that? I think SoFi was right here, and I talked about that 735, 740 level, which we hit earlier in the day. Friday, right here, we double topped, then we actually sold down to 721. So we rebounded, broke out of that 738 level. We actually filled the gap to about 750 roughly, which was that high from the pre-market. You guys see that right here. We hit 750, then boom, we dumped aggressively. So we broke 740, filled the gap to 750. Then we actually broke out of that slightly heading into close a little bit, right? You can see right here. Then if I zoom in, we completely broke out of 750 in the aftermarket. Actually, SoFi got to almost 760. We hit 758 in the aftermarket. So this looks pretty good in the very short term. Now, obviously, we're still selling off on the 20-day chart, 10-day chart. We'll take a look in a second. But it looks like the bulls, let's just say, they finished off pretty strong on Friday, rallying from 721, which was the low from around 12:15 on the East Coast, up to about 758. That was a 5% move, or about, let's see, 40 cents, 40 cents, which is a pretty decent move there heading into close. Again, earnings are not tomorrow, but they are next Monday, which is 8 days away from today. And let's just say, guys, I am pumped. Excuse me. So, yeah, let's take a look here at the 5 day. So on the 5 day, 5 minute, geez Louise, guys, I don't know what's going on. Hold on a second. Let me get another sip of this coffee. There we go. So, yeah, on SoFi, on the 5 day, 5 minute, we can see now we have a golden cross. We are seeing the 50 crossing above the 180. We're taking out, and another thing worth mentioning is we took out the highs from pre-market on Friday, which were around 750. Like I said, we took out those highs in the aftermarket, which is great. And now it looks like the next key level, let me actually clear the drawing set very quickly, is going to be around 765. Let me draw this out for you guys right here. That was the high from not Friday, but Thursday morning. We can see right here, if I zoom in, boom, we hit that on the 18th in the morning, then we sold off. So if we take that out, maybe on Monday, maybe heading into earnings, we start seeing momentum past this point right here. That could be a really, really, good sign for the bulls in the short term. And it could be a signal that a further reversal to the upside could be coming. So let me set my alert while we're at it at 65. Let me do that now. Mark is at or above 765. There we go. Boom. Mark is at or above. So if we break that point, we could be running towards some other key spots here, 785. Let me draw that out. 785 is a target. Let's see, $8 obviously is a big one. Let's see, 8:30. That's where we hit. I think early last week. Yeah, that was on the 12th of January. So we hit 8:30. All I'm saying is, guys, if we do start cracking above 65, 765, which again was the high from Thursday morning, we start gaining momentum. Momentum above that point. It could build up quick, especially heading into earnings. I'm not saying for sure it's going to happen. Obviously, do your own research. Please, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right here, at least on that time frame. And that was on the 5-day, right? On the 10-day, you guys can see we're still obviously under the 180 SMA. We're still on a downtrend, obviously, right? But if we do start clearing above, let's say again, excuse me, guys, geez, maybe I'm getting a little sick. I don't know what's going on, guys. But yeah, 765, you can see that's the 180 moving average resistance on this 10-day, 30-minute chart. So that's another reason why we got to get over that. So we'll see, guys. It all comes down to that point, really. And on the 20-day chart, we're already above the 50 SMA, which is good. And we do have a wide open window up to about $8 until we test the 180 SMA. We'll see if that actually happens. Then if we break $8, that's where, at least on this time frame, we could be getting an even bigger reversal. And on the 4-hour, if I pull that up, guys, pretty much that head and shoulders. Do you guys remember that head and shoulders we talked about? That pretty much played out. And, it all comes down. This week is like, it's going to be the calm before the storm, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a big week for this stock. There's a lot of things up in the air, with gap profitability, what's the growth looking like, the guidance, things like that. Let me actually come over here to Safari. Bear with me, guys. So right now, their market cap, I'm not sure if you knew. You probably knew. But it was close to $10 billion at one point recently. I forget exactly where it was. Maybe 9.5. Either way, now it's at 7, or maybe it was at 9. But now it's at $7.18 billion, and the EPS for the last 12 months, in other words, the trailing 12 months, negative 45 cents. So they're obviously not profitable in the last 12 months, but that's their goal. They're trying to get, obviously, to profitability, which I feel like if that happens now, if we do get that and guidance is looking strong for the company, that's probably going to cause the stock. It's not obviously guaranteed. We don't know, but that's going to be good for the stock, just coming from the point that it's sold off 30% already this year. It's not like it's at all-time highs heading into the earnings. I mean, it's already down 30%, and I think there's some worries. Are they going to be able to be profitable? This, that, the third, right? So it's going to come down to these earnings, and I feel like if we do get that profitability, right, the stock could see some momentum potentially again, because it's just so beaten down. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on that, guys. But let's pop over here to analysis quickly and see what these earnings are projected. So they're actually, based on Yahoo Finance here, 17 analysts, we can see the average estimate is actually break even here, 0, which means $0, which I guess that's better than negative, obviously, but it's not technically a profitable, like a positive quarter, but that's the average estimate. We have the low estimate here, negative 1 cent. High estimate is 2 cents. So if they do hit 2 cents, maybe higher than that, who knows? That's going to be really good news. And if we do see, let's see, either way, I mean, look, whether we do the average, the low, the high, it's going to be above what it was last year of negative 5 cents. And we can see when it comes to revenue, $571 million is the average, low $554 million. The high is $591. And a year ago, they did $443, guys. So year over year, man, they're looking pretty good, up 25, anywhere from 25 to 30%. On sales growth is what they're projecting, which is phenomenal. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. It's going to be a big quarter here for SoFi. Obviously, all eyes are on SoFi heading into next week, and we're going to be covering it here on the channel. So make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like button. Don't forget to follow me on X, by the way, at Stas Talk Stocks. We're almost at 1,000 followers. I think we're at like 975. And you might as well follow me on TikTok at Stas Talk Stocks as well. We're going live there more often now. I had a bunch of, question and answers yesterday on TikTok. It was fun. I was on there for like 40 minutes last night. I was in the backyard, guys. We just had a snowstorm. It wasn't that bad. It was like 7-8 inches, whatever. But I was in the backyard just on live for like 40 minutes, and we had a bunch of questions. It was a bunch of fun. So follow me on there, and I guess with that being said, I'll catch you all later.